Hello and welcome to another deck profile brought to you by Double Sleeve. Today I thought we'll go through the new Ultimate deck, which is the reboot of the Set 2 Goku Black leader that was so popular back then. Um, they've got a few bits and pieces. I've tried to keep this as thematic and include as many of the cards from the Ultimate deck as possible, while adding a couple that will make it a little bit better. So let's start off by going through the leader. So we have auto once per turn where one of your Zamasu or Goku Black battle cards attack, draw one card. This is a bit of, it's not really a downgrade because you didn't have draw on the original one, but you want to get to your awakened condition as quickly as possible just to try and get that draw power. Because on the front side, I'm not a big fan of how they've done this auto. We've got the active main auto. Once per turn, if you have 2 or more energy, add 1 card from your life to your energy. You can't place cards in your energy for the turn. At the end of your turn, place 1 of your energy in the drop. Obviously, if you've got energy in rest or active mode, you're picking the rest one. And the awakened condition is when your life is 4 or less, or you have a Blue Zamasu Z battle card with energy cost of 3 in play, draw 2 cards, then add cards to your life to your hand until you have 6 left. Because you have the ability to ramp in this deck, you can get that Zamasu out obviously by turn 2, and you want to do that to try and get to that leader backside as quickly as possible. Because the auto changes a little bit here, so your auto once per turn when one of your Zamasu or Goku Black cards attack, so the leader can now get a draw 1 card. And then active main once per turn, add 1 card from your life to your energy. You can't place cards in your energy for the turn. At the end of the turn, place 1 of your energy in your drop. Before we go into the main deck, let's have a look at the Z deck. So we have the Z leader, which is for 1 blue energy when your life is 4 or less. Auto once per turn when one of your Zamasu Goku Black cards attacks, draw 1 card, which is good. That's what you want. Nice swing draw. Active main once per turn, add up to 1 Goku Black from your Z energy to your energy, and you can't place cards in your energy for the turn. At the end of the turn, place 1 of your energy in the drop. So as opposed to taking life to gain the ramp, you can do it with a Goku Black card that you've got in your Z energy. And active battle once per turn if your life is at 2 or less and you have a Goku Black in your Z energy. This card gets plus 5,000 power and double strike for the battle. So you've got the double strike 20k swing you can go for game with your leader. Obviously, it's really important to have Goku Blacks in your Z energy, so we try to put as many Goku Blacks in the deck as possible to make sure you're going to be consistent with that. So I've put these in energy cost order. So to start with, we've got a 54 card main deck. We have our super combo, which is when your leader card is blue and life is 4 or less. Use this card in the combo. You can draw 1 or choose 1 Breaking Taboo from your deck, add it to your hand. Breaking Taboo is one of the new expansion cards, which I have excluded from this deck because I just feel it's for 6 energy that you need to play to get the infinite fuse Zamasu out. It's just not worth it. You can get your ramp with your other options in the deck, and you can get it out just as quick for 1 extra turn. Paying 6 energy for it just really isn't worth it, in my opinion. We have a 2-cost counter attack Goku Black Shining Illusion. Negate the attack and play this card. Add permanent if it's your opponent's turn. Your leader is a Z leader. Reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 1. Beautiful. So it's a 1 cost. And then auto for 1 blue energy. If your leader card is a blue Goku Black, when this card is played, draw 1 card and play 1 Shadow Token, which has 10,000 power, 5,000 combo power, and that card gains blocker for the turn. So a nice 1 cost negate. If you have the 2 energy, you want the extra defense by playing a blocker. Beautiful value there as well. We have a 3 cost, which is Goku Black Close Combat. He's a critical striker. Permanent if you have 4 or more energy and a Zamasu with Indestructible in play, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 2. So this becomes a 1 cost also. Auto limit 1. When this card is played, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, add 1 blue Zamasu or Goku Black card to your hand and shuffle it. So essentially a draw 1 at the same time. From the last anniversary box, we have the Mortals Be Gone Goku Black Double Strike and auto. When this card is played, draw 1 card, then choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards, energy cost of 4 or less, and place it at the bottom of its owner's deck. Active battle for limit 1, you pay 1 blue, and if your leader card is a mono blue or Zamasu Goku Black, You have 3 or more Z energy, play this card from your hand. So important to make sure you got that Z energy there. We have another card in the deck we need Z energy for as well. We'll get to a little bit later. The 5 cost is Justice of Destruction, another critical. He is a counter. For limit 1, negate the counter and choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, ignore a barrier, place it at the bottom of their deck, and then play 1 card. Looking more at the active main for this one because 5 is a lot to pay, but you do ramp in this deck, so it is possible to pay the 5 for it. Auto, when this card is played, choose one of your Blues and Master card with energy cost of 7 and switch it to active mode. Active main, limit 1 for 2 blue energy. If your energy is at 5 or more, you have as a master with Indestructible in play, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, place it at the bottom of the deck, and then play this card from your hand. So essentially, you really want to play this guy out for 2, and you got a 20k critical. The 9 cost here, which is a triple striker, a great game ender if you can go in with it. Evolves for 4 on top of a Goku Black. And when choosing cards to use this evolve skill from your hand, you can choose a battle card in your energy and play it in active mode. So if you got a Goku Black in your energy, you can tap the 4, put one of those ones in play, and then play it on top of that. So you don't necessarily need to have a Goku Black out. Auto, if your leader card is a Blues or Master Goku Black card and your opponent has 5 or more energy, when a card evolves into this card, place up to 2 of your opponent's energy in their drop area. So if they have any active energy, you want to burn those, obviously. A couple of 1 costs here. So Guasu, he's not bad to help fix your Z energy. So auto, when this card is played, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, add 1 God with an energy cost of 6 or less to your hand, then shuffle your deck, which Zamasu and Goku Black are all gods. Limit 1, if your leader card is a Goku Black, when you add this card to your Z energy, you may place this card from your Z energy to your drop. If you do, you can add 1 blue Goku Black card from your Z energy, from your drop to your Z energy. This 1-drop Zamasu here is a bit of fusion fodder, and it can also be played out early if you want to get that swing on your leader front side. If your leader card is a Blue Zamasu Goku Black card, when this card is played from your hand, place the top card of your deck in your energy, and then at the end of the turn, if the card you place in your energy is still in your energy, place it in its owner's drop area. If the card you place in your energy with the skill isn't in your energy, place 1 card from your energy in its owner's drop. These cards are getting longer and longer with their autos. So like I said, this is more if you want the early swing, if you want some fusion fodder to get the ultimate fuse Zamasu out, all those sort of bits and pieces. Next we have, also keep in mind with this one, if your leader has used its ramp, you won't be able to get the ramp ability with your 1-drop Zamasu either. The 5 cost here is Indestructible, Union Patara, Blue Zamasu, and Blue Goku Black. Permanent, if you have 3 or more energy, you can choose battle cards in your energy using this card's Union skill. You want to get this guy set up for the evolve targets. So your main evolve target is a little bit later on for that one. The 6 cost here is Indestructible Blocker. If your leader card is a Zamasu or Goku Black, use a Blue Zamasu Z battle card energy cost of 3 and a Goku Black. We'll go through those soon. And then auto, when a Blue Zamasu with an energy cost of 7 is placed on top of this card, switch one of your energy to active mode at the end of the turn. And auto, when one of your energy is placed in your drop by a leader skill, switch this card to active mode at the end of the turn. So you have a restanding Indestructible Blocker. The 7 cost that goes on top of it is a double striker, Indestructible and Blocker. EX evolve for 2 if you have 4 or more energy. Blue Zamasu with energy cost of 6. When this card attacks, or one of your Goku Black cards is added to your Z energy, draw 1 card, and then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and place it at the bottom of the owner's deck. So obviously you can do a Z charge on your opponent's turn and get that skill off also. If your leader card is a Blue Goku Black and it's your turn, when one of your energy is placed in the drop area by a leader skill, switch this card to active mode at the end of the turn. Again, a restanding blocker. The 9 cost here, which I should have put a couple of cards earlier, but I didn't. Indestructible Dual Attack for 4 blue energy on top of a 5 cost, so that goes on top of your Fuse Zamasu from before. Active main battle, place this card in its owner's drop, activate 1 Tragedy Overground from your hand, drop, deck, or energy area, and then shuffle your deck if you went through it. So Tragedy Overground is the extra card here. which is a field card. This card can't be removed from your battle area by skills in your opponent's battle cards permanent. When one of your opponents plays a battle card with energy cost of 4 or more, it's placed in its owner's energy in rest mode instead. When this card activates, choose all of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and place them in their owner's energy in rest mode. So you are going to give them a ramp, which is fine, because most of the cards that people are playing now, even if you look at this deck, a lot of them are 4 cost or more, which is pretty standard in this day and age of Dragon Ball Super. So this card is essentially shutting your opponent down from being able to play cards unless they're low 1 cost, 2 costs, or 3 costs. And they should be a lot easier to defend than some of the other cards that come out now. The big guy here, we have just a one-off Infinite Fuse Zamasu. He is a decent card for 7 Union Patara. Indestructible and auto. When this card attacks, choose each of your opponent's battle card from each of your opponent's battle area, which is a battle card only. Energy, life, hand, and place them at the bottom of their deck in any order. If you're getting this guy out, it can be really handy to, obviously you want burn damage going for the end of the game. If you can stall out and just use this guy to sort of do your final finish, it's really handy. Kale, so this actually comes in the Ultimate deck. You get 2 copies, I believe it is, off the top of my head. But it is a really good higher cost blue card that should be pretty much a staple in those late game blue decks. Has Deflect and Double Strike. When this card played without using its skills, choose one. Choose all of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 3 or more. Place them at the bottom of his owner's deck, and then your leader card is Blue Kale, which doesn't matter. The other one is if you have 7 or more energy, choose all your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier. Place them at the bottom of their owner's deck, and then this card gains barrier and dual attack for the turn, which is what you want. You want that 5-cost dual attack, double strike with barrier and deflect. Very hard to get over the top of the 30k also. To help you get to that late game, because a lot of the early game can be a bit more of a struggle, so we want some things to defend to get to the late game. We have Super Saiyan God Son Goku Miraculous Transformation. He has Deflect, Unique, Triple Strike, and Barrier, and a counter attack. Negate the attack and play this card in rest mode. Permanent, during your opponent's turn, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 1 for each of your card in your opponent's energy, so can become a 3 cost. If your leader card is mono blue and this card is in rest mode, your opponent battle cards can't attack leader cards, which is what we want. We want to protect that leader at all costs. Our ramp here, so we've got Super Saiyan 4 Rise of the Super Warrior. This card is amazing, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if blue gets insane if this card gets banned in the future. Blocker, if your leader card is mono blue, when this card is played, look at 4 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 4 mono blue cards among them to your energy, place any number of the remaining mono blue cards in your energy. Sorry. You can choose to put the 4 cards in your hand and then put the rest of the mono blue cards in your energy and place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. So realistically, you're paying 6. When you get to 6 energy, you gain another 4 energy, which puts you at 10 for the next turn. That means you can tap 10 to play Infinite Fuse Zamasu from hand straight if you want to do it without fusing or anything like that. It just gives you so much value. Ideal play is you're tapping 6 for this guy and then tapping 4 for your Boo just to protect you even more, because he is also a blocker, and at the end of your turn, switch this card to active mode. We have a bit more defense here. So Android 17, defending friends, counterattack, negate the attack, and play this card in rest mode. Limit 1 if your leader card is blue and your leader is a Z leader. You have 3 or more Z energy, or you have a Z battle card in play. When this card is played for the turn, your opponent can't attack with battle cards unless they choose 1 card in their hand, place them at the bottom of the deck. So you either need Z energy for this, or when you have your Z leader out, when you're at 4 life or less, this guy can just come out in rest mode and protect you a little bit. Could also bump this guy up to 3 if you want added protection there. 1 copy of Turning the Tide, another insane blue card, which I'm sure will go in the future at some point. Critical Deflect, when you play this card, choose all cards in your hand, your opponent's hand, and all battle cards in your opponent's drop area. Shuffle them into their owner's decks. The secret rare I've chosen for this deck, I tossed up between this and Kaioken Goku, to be honest, but I figured patch just to help you get to that late game. It's really good at sort of just shutting down a complete turn. You guys know what this card does already. 3 more energy, negate the attack plays card from your hand. You can discard a card from your hand to get this card out for essentially a free negate. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't. Blue Unison has been limited to 1 because it's so good. Double strike blocker. The neg 0 bottom decks a card. It draws your card and switches to active mode at the end of the turn, and the -1 bottom decks a card. Dirty Burst, which is a staple in blue, just 2 of. Another staple in blue, you got your Beerus Destroyer, Realm of the Gods. I've got a couple of copies of Sensu Bean in there because Sensu Bean is amazing, and Dimension Magics to help you get to that late game also. Having a quick look at the Z battle cards. So the important ones here are your Zamasu. It's a 3-cost deflect, Z stack 1, Goku Black with an energy cost of 2. Permanent, if your leader card is Goku Black, this card gains indestructible and blocker. And auto, when one of your energy is placed in your drop area by your leader skill, switches card to active mode at the end of turn. So this is a 15k blocker. When your energy goes, he switches to active mode. This guy here actually has the permanent. If it's your opponent's turn and this card is under a Zamasu, the top card gets plus 15,000 power. So this guy here becomes a 30,000 indestructible blocker, making him harder to remove from things like red. Auto, when this card attacks, use up to 1 mono blue god with 5,000 combo power in your drop area and negate this skill for the turn. So again, it helps generate Z energy. And to play this guy, you pay 1 blue energy to play him out from underneath the Zamasu Z battle card. 1 copy of Beerus in there for the Z deck, and 1 copy of Cell just for situational bits and pieces. So look, that's my take on the new Ultimate deck. It's, like I said, I've tried to keep it as thematic as possible. There's a few good synergy things in terms of what you can do with the Goku Blacks and Zamasu. I like what they've done with the deck, but there's bits and pieces I think that they haven't made it as broken as they possibly could. I feel like they put the brakes on this deck a little bit. Definitely not a terrible deck, but I wouldn't say it's sort of S tier in terms of what they could have done. And when you look at some of the previous Ultimate decks, probably not as strong. Look, that's the end of the deck profile. Let me know what you think about it. If there's any other cards you think that should go in there, discuss it in the comment section below. I'm sure there'll be other people looking for ideas on what to do with this deck as well, so let them know your ideas too, and see how we can make this deck as strong as we possibly can. Nice to see they finally rebooted Goku Black. People have been asking for that for a long time. So look, that's the profile for now, and I'll see you on the next one.